with your boy, Sneaky Fox here, back with another conference tournament prediction video. So the last one, we did the West Coast Conference. Today, we are doing the ACC. So as you can see here, standings are as follows. Duke finished first with a record of 16-14 in the conference. Then Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, finished second, tied with North Carolina at 15-15. However, they will be differentiated by head-to-head matchup. Fourth would be Miami, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Florida State, Syracuse, Clemson, Louisville, Boston College, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, and then North Carolina State, rounding out the last position in the ACC. So, first things first, we have to do the double-digit seed matchups. So first, we will take a look at Pittsburgh versus Boston College. Boston College has the same record as Pittsburgh, 6-14, 11-19 for Boston College overall, whereas Pittsburgh is 11-20. Both teams struggled away from home. Boston College was 9-7 at home. Pittsburgh was 9-11. So Pittsburgh actually has no neutral court games, which is interesting. We take a look at the points per game. Boston College edging out Pittsburgh 66.4 to 61.5, shooting 42%, 30% from three, and 70% from the free throw line, whereas Pittsburgh is shooting 41% from the floor, 31% from three, and 69.6% from the free throw line. This could be a close game. I am going to go with Boston College first to take down Pittsburgh. Then we'll move on to Clemson versus North Carolina State. Clemson finished 8-12 in the conference. North Carolina State finished 4-16. Honestly, from what I've seen with North Carolina State, they are not that competitive. Sure, they've scored 73% or 73 points per game, whereas Clemson only scores 71.6. But those are typically in the higher scoring games, like we have Duke or North Carolina, where the pace is a lot faster. I will have Clemson advancing past the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Moving on, we have Louisville versus Georgia Tech. Louisville finished with a 6-14 record in the conference. Georgia Tech finished 5-15. Georgia Tech 12-19 overall compared to 12-18 out of Louisville. And then Georgia Tech barely scoring more points per season or per game this season, with 68.6 versus 67.9 from Louisville. And Georgia Tech has played an extra game, so that is one thing to keep in mind there. Georgia Tech shooting from the floor 44%, 35 from three, and then about 70% from the free throw line. Louisville 42% from the floor, 31% from three, and about 68% from the free throw line. This could honestly go either way. I think I am going to take the Cardinals out of Louisville to take down Georgia Tech. Moving on to the next round, we have our first matchup, Syracuse versus Florida State. Syracuse finished 9-11 in conference compared to Florida State's 10-10. I did watch a Syracuse game early this year. It was a Big Ten ACC Challenge, Indiana versus Syracuse. And that game, I think, went to triple overtime. It was a really good game to watch. And they do say it's March Madness. And one thing associated with March Madness is Syracuse's late magic in conference tournaments and even the big dance. So for that reason, I am going to go with Syracuse. Getting my mouse back over here. There we go. Syracuse over Florida State. Moving on, Boston College versus Wake Forest. Wake Forest finished the conference at 13-7, 23-8 overall. I think last time I checked, they were close to the bubble for Joe Lunardi's bracketology. Wake Forest finished second in points per game at 79.5. Shooting nearly 49% from the floor, 35% from three, and looks like they are about third or fourth in the conference in free throw shooting at 74%. That being said, I think they're going to take down Boston College. This one, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 10-15 point game. Moving on to Clemson versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech finished the season at 11-9 in conference, 19-12 overall. Going to their scoring, they're about 2 points below Clemson at 69.6 points per game, shooting nearly 47%, 38% from three, and are the third place team for free throw percentage, 74%, nearly 75%. This will be a really close game. I'm gonna say Clemson pulls it out though. I'm gonna say by 4, because it's just gonna be one of those back and forth games, I believe. Why not have our first upset pick here? Because 13-12, I wouldn't really necessarily say that's an upset. Same with 9-8, at least for conference tournament. Moving on to our next game, we have Louisville versus Virginia. The Cavaliers finished 12-8 in conference, 18-12 total throughout the season, 10-6 at home, 6-6 away. So 2-0 on neutral court. The Cavaliers finished 14th in points per game. I think this is mainly due to a slower pace of play from Virginia and more focus on defense rather than offense production. They are shooting 45% from the field, 33% from the three-point line, and again tied for third with nearly 75% free throw shooting. I think Virginia's defense is going to carry them to the win over Louisville. So now we have the quarterfinals for the ACC bracket, not challenge. Duke, Syracuse. Duke is nearly scoring over 3 points a game, or 3 points more than Syracuse at 80.4, nearly shooting 49% from the field, getting 61 shot attempts per game. That's quite a substantial number compared to the rest of the conference here. Shooting 37% from three and 73% from free throw line. From the Duke games that I have watched, it's really been hit or miss on if they've dominated or not. I think with 9 seed overall Syracuse, they will dominate. Duke will dominate Syracuse. So unfortunately, there's no Boeheim magic in this one. And we have Wake Forest versus Miami. Miami coming in at 14-6 in the conference, 22-9 overall. Scoring nearly 75 points per game, 48% from the field, about 35% from 3-point, 75% from the free throw line, taking the lead in conference percentage from the free throw line. Miami versus Wake Forest. I'm going Miami. These two games have been close both times, and Miami has prevailed both games head-to-head against Wake Forest. I think they do prevail yet again on the neutral court. Moving on to 10 seed Clemson versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame finished 15-5, like I said earlier, 14-1 at home, 7-5 away, and then finished with a record of 22-9. So just 1-3 in neutral court games. Notre Dame is 72.3%, or 72.3 points per game, 46% from the field, 38% from three, and then 75.3% from the free throw line, which, okay, apparently, I retract my comment earlier about Miami's free throw percentage because we'll get into North Carolina's next matchup, but it's 77% there, so I totally overlooked that. That being said, Clemson, sorry, your run is over. We're going Notre Dame in this matchup. That leads to Virginia versus North Carolina. North Carolina shooting 78.6 points per game, 45.8% from the floor, 37.4% from three-point line, and 77% from the free throw line. Finished once again with a 15-5 record in the conference, 23-8 overall, 15-2 at home, 8-3 on the road. I remember there was a stretch where they did look kind of vulnerable and were close to the one of the last four in, like trying to fight their way off of the first four games. Toward the end of the season, though, they have made a surge, especially their last game, beating Duke on Coach K's final home game. Just the fashion that they did it, I think all five starters played all 20 minutes in the second half. So, pulling up their schedule, they are 7 of their last 8, only loss coming to Pittsburgh. That being said, North Carolina, you are moving into the semifinals. Moving on, Duke and Miami. Sorry, but Duke, you are taking out Miami. I don't see any way that Miami could stop Duke, especially I think it's Pablo Banchero. For some reason I can't remember their name, although I haven't watched much ACC, so forgive me on that if I'm butchering the name. We're setting up the finals of Duke, North Carolina. Just based on, where is it? Come on. Based on 3-point shooting. Well, actually, Notre Dame has a higher 3-point percentage than North Carolina. Okay, based on points per game, Points per game, over 6 points more. I am taking North Carolina. Set up Duke, North Carolina. Duke is going to win this one. I believe one of the main factors of Duke's downfall was just the emotion of Coach K's last game, and I don't think that he will let another loss happen to North Carolina, especially when it comes to the conference tournament and the automatic bid. Because Duke's especially pushing for, I think it was the 2 line or possibly even the 1 line, depending on how other conference tournaments shake out. But yeah, that's going to be the predictions from me. If you have different picks, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I will see you guys next time.